Streaming is a dream job without a doubt. You get to wake up at whatever time you want, go live to an audience who loves you, play games, make jokes, do music, art, or just have a chat, all while getting paid to do it. Some streamers go on to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and a small percentage will go on to earn millions even. But the vast majority of content creators will actually never even reach the $100 minimum payout threshold to receive a cent. And those that do reach it consistently often go on to stop enjoying streaming altogether. One of the best parts about being a content creator is the flexibility to work for yourself and not be stuck in a 9-to-5 office job that you hate. But what a lot of people don't understand is that to be a full-time streamer, it requires a huge amount of time and energy, which you're probably thinking, every job requires time and energy, Eljay. And you are totally right about that. But in terms of being a content creator, in terms of earning a living by posting content online, working from home, streaming is one of the most time-intensive and worst ways to create a sustainable career where you'll be able to do this long-term. So yes, this video is all about how unstable streaming is, but of course, I will give you actionable advice to make sure that you don't limit yourself, to make sure you can do this full-time safely. And of course, most importantly, to make sure that in 6 months' time, 3 months' time, or a few years' time, you don't hate streaming and you still enjoy what you do. But speaking of enjoying something, why don't you enjoy our ad read for Own.tv? I want to say thank you to Own.tv. You guys should know about Own by now if you've watched any of my videos. They're a fantastic resource for any streamer and a massive friend to this channel. Own.tv have literally every single graphic that a streamer could need already built out. They have animated overlays, alerts, they've got panels, banners, literally everything. And of course, they have static versions of all those things as well. They don't take up as many resources from your PC, and you can let those resources focus on encoding your stream and making your gameplay look smooth. So if you're looking for a brand new overlay package to upgrade your stream, make yourself look a little bit more professional, then I recommend using the link in the description to check out Own.tv. And also, they seem to have sales going on like every other weekend, so maybe it's worth checking that link out and seeing whether or not you can get yours 50% off. A massive thank you to Own.tv, and again, if you want to support me, guys, go and support Owned with the link in the description because it really helps the channel out. So let's talk about streaming. Streaming, you have to go live almost every single day with a consistent schedule that doesn't change, with consistent content that your audience will enjoy, content that you can't edit down or add anything really to, so you have to make sure you're putting as much energy and engagement into it as possible to keep your audience watching, which also doesn't matter because your audience is busy. They can't always make it to live content because they have work, school, chores, friends, or just life in general. Speaking of life in general, you don't get to have one really because you can't get ahead of your work. Streaming is live. You can't prep 4 or 5 full live streams ahead of time and release them so you can take a few days off to go on vacation. Because most importantly, the moment you stop streaming, the moment you hit that end stream button, that is the moment those 100 average viewers you're so proud of disappear and you suddenly have 0 average viewers and not much to really show for it. After all, streams are live and the VODs of those streams get deleted within a few weeks unless you post them somewhere else. This means that every time you don't go live, every day that you don't hit the go live button, you lose viewers, you lose growth momentum, and you stop earning money. Based on everything I've just said, you can probably understand and agree that streaming is no longer flexible. Streaming is a career that traps you in, unless you become a giant streamer or do the tip at the end of this video. And if your goal is to become a giant streamer, well, it's really important to remember that the vast majority of people who start streaming never go on to reach the $100 payout. In fact, most people who go on to even reach the $100 payout often don't go on to earn a livable wage from it at all. And if you don't believe me, well, look at this community. We asked you, small streamers, and 68% in just 19 hours said they've never even reached their payout. Let's add a bright side to that though and say anyone who has earned money from streaming, if you've earned enough to buy a pizza or a beer, you've smashed it more than 75% of people out there. But let's not just look at the giant majority of small streamers and then the tiny percentage of giant streamers. Let's also look at the middle of the pack. The majority of Twitch partners like myself earn a okay wage and a livable wage on Twitch. But whenever I speak to those people, they often say that the moment their hobby goes from being just that to a career is the same moment they stop enjoying streaming and start finding it incredibly stressful. Because suddenly, not only do they have to worry about making good, engaging, quality content, but they also need to balance earning subs, donations, and generally revenue so they can actually pay rent and keep the lights on. This is why creators add sub goals and donation goals to their stream, to encourage or essentially ask their viewers to support them. Viewers who likely don't actually have the spare income to be able to support your dream of streaming full time. But that's okay, right? Because streaming is a dream job. You don't want to take time off to go on a vacation or do anything else. You are happy to just stream. But what you and almost every streamer who wants to do this full time doesn't realize is actually how incredibly unstable streaming is and how little of it is in your control. If you get sick, you will start losing money and losing viewers you might never get back. If your PC breaks and you can't go live, you will start losing money and you will start losing viewers that you may never get back. Or if you're like me and your government builds a terrible internet infrastructure so bad that when it breaks and over 450 houses in your neighborhood lose the ability to upload consistently, and then they say it'll take 3 to 4 months before they even consider fixing it, so you can't go live consistently, then you will lose money and potentially lose viewers that you may never get back. And that isn't a hypothetical. That is literally what has happened to me over the last 3 to 4 months, with absolutely zero control over what's going on, other than literal government intervention. I have not been able to stream consistently without my internet dying or shutting off halfway through a stream. If almost any other streamer of my size who isn't me had this happen to them, they would likely have to quit. They would have to go and get part-time or full-time work in order to support themselves while they waited to come back. And when they come back, their audience likely wouldn't be there. They would have a huge drop in average viewers, which means they still wouldn't be able to support themselves and they'd have to build it all back up. But I will explain in a second why, despite all of this, I've still been able to stay full-time as a content creator. So stay tuned. It's not just sickness, things breaking, or stuff that's out of your control. It's actually any real time off. If you want to go away for a week or two to the beach for a vacation or on a honeymoon even, well, every single day you don't go live, you don't earn money. Every single day you don't go live, your viewers go and find other content to enjoy. Every single day that you aren't live, you lose momentum. That's why streamers who do this full time literally go live on Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and so many other times where you'd rather be spending it with friends and family. Because if they don't, they have to make up those subs later, and there's no guarantee that they can do that. And then they can't pay rent and they can't keep the lights on. If you are a streamer who has ever dealt with this pressure, then please let me know in the comments, because I actually think this is a really important discussion that needs to be had and not many people are talking about it. If you want to do this full time, it's really important to be aware of the downfalls and issues that can occur. So why is it, despite the fact that I can't guarantee that I can go live, I've still been able to do this full time? Well, I will tell you in a second, but first, let me just throw it out there. If you find this video interesting, if you want to learn how to grow, be sustainable, diversify, then please consider subscribing and checking out the other content on the channel. We've got videos about everything. The reason I can stay full time, but more importantly, the reason that I actually enjoy streaming still after 2.5 years and I'm not pressured to monetize, is because of just one thing: stream scheme. If you have watched this channel at all, then you have heard me say 1,000 different ways in 1,000 different times to diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket in case something goes wrong and you can no longer support yourself from streaming. But I don't think you take it seriously, because every time I give that advice, I get comments saying, I hate YouTube. I don't want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a streamer because I love streaming. But if you loved streaming, then you'd be willing to do YouTube, because if you don't, well, then you won't be able to love streaming, let alone stream at all. Hopefully this time it clicks though, because this is no longer theoretical advice. This is literal advice I am learning from experience. I am telling you, if I didn't have YouTube and sponsors and everything else, then I would have to go back to my 9 to 5. I'd probably be back at my old job where my boss was an absolute twat to me. But luckily I'm not, because every day I can still earn $100 to $200 on this YouTube channel. And more importantly, it comes from ads and not your wallet, which makes it far more sustainable. I want every single person watching this to imagine for a second that you have done it. You've achieved your dream job. You're streaming to hundreds of viewers every single day. You get paid to do it, it's full time, and you're living the life. But something goes wrong, and you can't go live tomorrow or the next day, maybe not for weeks or months or even a full year. Would you have diversified enough that you could keep going? Can you continue to support yourself as a content creator? Can you continue your dream job? For me, I can say yes to those questions and feel pretty damn confident about that. But I think the majority of streamers can't say yes to those questions. In fact, even if it's not something breaking and just me going on vacation, well, I can prep those videos in advance and get them ready to go out while taking some time off. But also, my income is only capped to how many videos I can release. If I needed to double my income because something happened, then I can just start releasing 2 videos a week rather than just 1 video a week. It's not just YouTube you can prep content for, and it's not just YouTube you can diversify to either. That's just the most consistent. You can also do it on TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, Fanhouse, Coffee, and of course, Discord now has memberships built into it that you can also use to monetize and create a community. Literally, think about that. Almost any other form of online content creation and monetization, you can actually prep a lot of content to go out in advance. You can't do that with streaming. And let's say that you have such a bad situation that you can't even prepare and make more content. You can't upload another YouTube video. Well, unlike VODs that disappear, unlike streams that need to be live, you've still got your giant back catalog of YouTube videos sitting there, earning you subs, earning you views, and earning you ad revenue, while you sort out and fix the thing that is stopping you from making more content. I'm saying specific platform names when I'm talking about this, but I want to be very clear. This isn't a Twitch issue. This is a streaming overall issue. This is something that will never change about streaming. But let's ignore a lot of those issues and bring it down to its simplest form. The fact that I can go live and I don't need to think to myself, I need 25 subs today and I need $100 in donations or else I can't make rent, means that there are some streams where I can just go live and play Minecraft or hang out with my community and not worry about that little sub number and how much money I'm earning. This entire video comes down to just one single actionable tip you need to listen to. Streaming is not and will never be a full-time sustainable career for you or the majority of streamers out there. The sooner you accept that and the sooner you diversify means the sooner you will actually start growing, the sooner you'll actually start earning a livable wage, and the sooner you will actually go back to enjoying streaming without all the extra pressure of growing and earning from it. Treat streaming as a secondary engagement tool to have fun and interact with your audience, not as a full-time career. I'm sorry if this video was harsh. I got really passionate in the middle of recording this, and now I'm worried it was too intense. But hey, if you want to learn how to diversify and make a more sustainable career, well, then I have plenty of YouTube growth videos right here that you can click on, and I hope it was helpful. I'll see you guys next week.